Hello, and welcome to another episode of the Anna Angle podcast. I still consider it a new podcast because this is episode 6.
Okay.
So, Ericka, welcome.
Thank you.
I will let you give your own little intro, but I'll just tell everyone why I'm so excited to have you here. I had never met you until this morning, like in person.
Yeah.
But I had been following a little bit about your career and your locations for your business, which we'll obviously talk about. And my good friend works for you or
Yep.
with you. So I'm just in awe. I'm very excited to hear a little bit more about you. And I think a lot of people will benefit from a lot of the things that you and I have already talked about. So,
Right.
Ericka, do you want to give yourself a little intro and then I'll
Sure,
fill in
thank
some
you.
holes?
I'm excited to be part of something new and fresh. Let's see. I don't know. I think a part of the story is that I'm 46. I'm in my 40s, which is a huge part of it because that explains a lot of things that we
Yes.
might talk about. But I'm a mom. I'm a wife. I love cats. I have 2 beautiful babies. My daughter is 11. My son passed away. We'll talk about that potentially, but can't leave him out. I have been a CRNA, nurse anesthetist, for about 16 years. I nurture her like a crazy person in the height of COVID.
Because why wouldn't you
'Cause why
open
wouldn't
up somewhere where people have to come in person during the
Naturally.
height of
Yeah,
COVID?
yeah. And they can't wear a mask because I have to see their face. Like naturally, it
Oh
was
my
a perfect
God.
business plan.
I had no idea. So were you working as a nurse anesthetist, like,
Yes.
okay, at like a hospital or
Yep,
like
I worked at St. Mary's for most of my career.
oh my God, I had no idea.
And I was sitting, I was doing orthopedics that day, which CRNAs know orthopedics are hard because you can't leave the case because there's implants. And so sometimes you have to go to the bathroom and you have to hold it for a very long time. And so orthopedics can be hard cases to do.
Okay.
But I was there and I got a message after the case from a friend who lived in California. And she was like, hey, I'm going to start a med spa. And like, my initial reaction was like, what, without me?
Yeah.
Which was so funny because she's halfway across the country.
Right.
But anyways, we started talking about how she had taken this class, and I have had entrepreneurial ideas for years. I have
Okay.
a lot of ideas. And
Okay.
my husband would always find ways for them not to work. He'd be like, that's not going to work because XYZ. And I'd say, okay, fine, I'll find another idea. And at that time, I was kind of toying with the idea of something, but I don't know. She just knowing someone that was doing it,
Yeah.
kind of, I was like, okay, cool. I'll just sign up for class. Paid for the class, told my husband about it 3 days later because I was like, how am I going to tell him what I've just done?
Right.
Because it was expensive.
But you had no idea, like that. Did you,
know,
in the back of your head, did you think, oh my God, I might be onto something
Might
here?
be onto something. So I've always been I'm very curious. So I'm kind of like, people say, what are you interested in? I'm like, everything. I'm interested in everything. I'm particularly fascinated by like the habits of humans, like watching what people do. There's patterns. It makes sense. We're all a lot the same.
Okay.
Right. And so
let me ask you this. Do you
Yeah.
think we're all a little bit fucked up though, as human beings, or is that negative?
yeah, in some way.
I always say that to
In
people
some
and
way,
they're like,
we're all a little crazy.
Yes, okay.
We all should probably be medicated on something.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so I kind of like looked around. I did sign up for the class without like really thinking about it. But then I started doing my homework because I was like, okay, if I'm going to do this, how far am I going to take it? Like, am I going to quit my job, my
Yeah.
full-time job? Am I going to just do this?
Full-time
Or am
W-2
I-
job where
Totally.
you're like getting, you
And
know
I
what you're
carried the
going to
health
make.
insurance, like I have all of it. And so I was like, okay, let's look around. So I kind of like looked around town
Okay.
and realized at that moment it was 2020. It was early 2020. So it was like the shutdown.
Pandemic is looming.
Right. Like everything was shut down. We couldn't go anywhere. You couldn't make appointments anywhere. But I was like, yeah, let's just open a business. And I looked around.
Some people start making sourdough.
Right,
Some start an empire. I don't know.
totally. I decided to put my whole life savings on hold and just open a business. I don't know. I looked around and it was like there were med spas and there were offerings, but there wasn't one in the area that I was in, which was sort of like the near west side,
Okay.
Fitchburg, right? There are certainly.
So you live over.
I live on the near west side.
Okay.
And so my first office was on Mineral Point, kind of like just west of the West Home Mall.
Okay.
And so there was nobody there. And like Julia Roberts, I just sort of claimed my corner. You know what I
Okay.
mean?
Yes, absolutely. This is our corner.
This is my corner now.
Yes.
I'll take this one. And I looked around and it was like there weren't a lot of advanced practice run med spas at the time.
Okay.
There are now, because being a CRNA also makes me an advanced practice provider, so I
Okay.
can prescribe.
Got it.
And
Okay.
so in the state of Wisconsin, as a nurse anesthetist, I can work independently. Super exciting. We just got independence in Wisconsin as nurse practitioners. So starting September 1st, a lot of us who are classified as like APRN, APNP, anyways, nurse midwives, nurse anesthetists,
Okay.
all become one umbrella of APRN, which is just incredible for healthcare.
I was just gonna say, so then everybody that works for you is able to prescribe, or
No, only if you have rights to prescribe.
Okay.
So myself and my business partner Nikki are both nurse practitioners.
Got it.
It's just that my specialty is anesthesia and her specialty is family medicine.
Got it.
So anyways, that's very exciting just in general for healthcare access.
Okay.
Because a lot of what we've started to do has to do with access. And like you can't get into a dermatologist in town for 6 months.
100%.
And so we cover a little bit of that overlap. Like I can't treat skin cancer, never going to touch that.
Okay.
We send those off, but we can identify it and then help you find resources.
That is huge.
Right. So anyways, I guess back to 2020. At the time, I was still working full time in the OR. My husband actually lost his job. He was sort of corporate America, worked from home, had this job for over 10 years, and he was what I call a COVID casualty, right? Like they made cuts and he made it through a few cuts and then he didn't. And so then we found ourselves one income. I had already started my training and I was starting to set up my business, but I hadn't like opened yet.
Yeah.
So naturally he loses his job and I'm like, no problem. I got this.
Right.
I'll just make all the money.
How and this was all in 2020.
This was all in 2020. So I opened. So when that happened, I was like, okay, full steam ahead. Apparently I need to like work full time here, make money here, like make it all happen. And I opened.
As one does. I mean,
naturally, like now I look back and think that was the craziest decision
you
I've ever
had
made.
just turned 40 years old.
I was 40.
And
right. So also looking back now that I do perimenopause treatments,
Yeah.
I've done hormone training and I treat this for patients and myself, I look back and go, she crazy. Like you were losing it.
How did you do all of this? When he came home and said, I lost my job, were you like, of course you did. Of course you did. Like that sucks.
I was crying. I had to find a friend to start the case in the OR that day because I like just couldn't get it together. I was like, oh my God, the weight of my whole family is on my shoulders. And I've never had that. We've always had 2 incomes. And so that was heavy. I was also supposed to be having a huge knee surgery. I've had my knee replaced at 38 and I was supposed to have it revised like a month later. And so I had to delay that surgery. So
you were in pain.
I was in quite a bit of pain and I thought, I don't know how I'm going to keep working in all this pain. And then I'm supposed to have this surgery and be off of work for 3 months. It was a mess. But I don't know, I have this overlying theme of things that have happened in my life where I just think it's harder to be sad and upset and wallow.
Yeah.
It's hard. It's very hard to be sad.
Yes.
So we could have taken that and let it really spiral us. But instead, that was sort of what fueled me.
Mm-hmm.
So like someone underestimating me, nothing fuels me more than someone thinking I'm just a silly girl who painted the walls pink, opened a business,
Well, for you.
Right? Like nothing fuels me more than someone thinking
like you're out of your mind.
Yeah,
right.
Totally. And I just never saw myself not making it happen. I didn't know what happen meant. Like I didn't know how big it was going to be. I didn't have any business plan to have 2 locations and 12 employees and offer 401k and health insurance. Like I didn't have all these things on my list. It just sort of happened, not without hard work. Like I know how it happened,
For sure.
But you know what I mean? Like I didn't, that wasn't the dream. It was just like, okay, I'm just going to do this. Cause I saw it was an entrepreneurial moment. Like I saw that there was a gap in the neighborhoods. And I was like, this is my corner. I'm going to take over what they need here.
Yeah.
Right. So I know what women are like in their late 30s, 40s, and I know how to help them because I'm going through it at the same time.
Yeah.
I know what it's like to look in the mirror and just see your sadness and your sorrow and like see your trauma and feel like people saw that in me when I left my house.
Yeah.
And so I think I don't know why aesthetics, right?
Right.
Like I've had people ask me like, "Oh, have you always wanted to get into aesthetics?" I'm like, "No,
Is
definitely
that
not."
is that like the realm? Is that what we would call nurture her? Is
Yeah,
okay.
aesthetics. We're medical. We're highly, highly medical.
Okay.
So we lean, even our esthetician leans a little more into like some more medical grade products.
Okay.
Because Nikki and I can offer that for her. We definitely are very scientific.
Okay.
So I definitely put us in the medical aesthetics category.
Got it.
It's weird because it's the largest part of healthcare. It's the fastest growing
Yes.
healthcare industry.
Yeah.
But we get labeled as like beauty and spa.
And I
like
guess that's
we
where
get lumped in nails and hair and like
it's very
it's
different.
very
That's very
yeah.
different. Nails and hair, I feel
Yeah.
like, are very different. Now, the outcome might be kind of similar because you're making women feel better about
Correct.
themselves
Yeah.
in a very like a deeper way, maybe, or a more medical way.
I mean, I think the outcome is similar. Like you get your hair done and you feel like your shoulders are back, your head is high, you can conquer anything with a
Yes.
good blowout.
I
Right?
mean,
There's a reason why like hair wash day is so
I
so
think that
fabulous.
honestly, I think blow dry bars are a miss in Madison. I don't know
They
why
really
we don't
are,
have
because there's nothing better than having someone else blow dry your hair and curl it for
and curl
you.
it and just like wash
Yeah.
it. How about scrub your scalp? Like
Ugh. Yes.
if
So,
anyone's listening that wants to open that, like talk to me because I think that that's a miss in Madison. And I just did go to my first spray tan.
oh, I love
So
that. Yeah. Where
like,
they did it for you. You stand
yes,
naked and they do it.
yes.
Yeah, I do.
So
love
you
that.
don't know me like at all,
Yeah.
but like I don't, Maddie, you could tell you like I don't do much yet. I'm holding out as long as I possibly
We'll
can
talk about that.
to take care of myself. But since working, I've been at Brava for 6 months. So
Okay.
this was a huge shift in my career. I was in tech sales for like 15 years.
Yeah, that is huge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and now I'm meeting all these incredible business owners who are like, you've never done this. You have to come in. And like I get facials now,
Yeah.
apparently.
Oh, yes. Apparently. I know. I love that.
And
Apparently, this is a thing I do.
apparently we're doing this now. And people are like, what? But I got a spray tan, my first spray tan last week, 2 weeks ago. Oh my God. You want to talk about
kind of life changing?
It is
Yeah.
life changing.
Yeah.
And the gal that did it, unbelievable. It's called Bronzed. It's in Bronze, Madison. It's on the like University Avenue.
Okay.
She was like, Anna, there's a huge gap of this. I'm like, I know this because of my Scottsdale friends. They get spray tans like part of their routine.
Midwesterners are a very interesting bunch because like we all want to look young and feel good and look summer all the time.
Yes.
Right? Like that sort of sun-kissed look.
Yeah.
But we will destroy our skin for 4 months of the year,
Yes.
June through September. And we laugh about this all the time, like this Midwest mentality. So I love that in southern states where it's hot all the time, they do not go out in the sun.
No.
Their skin is healthier.
No, their
than
skin
ours.
is way healthier.
Way healthier.
And they're doing it as part of like, this is just like something that they do. They have memberships and they do it once a month at least or whatever.
So smart.
And then the other thing that's crazy is I am a self-proclaimed very like low maintenance person, but these things are actually making me more low maintenance because the spray tan, and I talked to her about it and I'm like, I don't feel like I have to wear any makeup because the spray tan is making this. And she's like, that's what people, that's a great
skin does that for you too.
That's
like,
the whole thing.
Yeah. The whole reason why I think women and men, to be fair, I say women, but I mean to include our male patients too. But I mean, we all just want to feel good.
Yeah.
We're all going through some kind of shit.
Yes.
And whether it's divorce, death, new job, I don't know. I mean, it
new
can be
life, like
new
whatever
life.
it is.
It can be anything. And so I always feel like you don't have to try to compare to my story.
Yeah.
Like no one has to be on the same level to feel the same things. I just want to feel good.
I think we all want to feel good. We all want to feel our best.
Even teeth whitening, like all these things feel, I suppose, superficial, but to me, they are deep. They are deeply rooted in your confidence.
Yes.
And that's why we're here. That's what Nurture Her was always supposed to be, was a place to feel your best. And it just happens to be that we also offer Botox and fillers and lasers and facials and like.
But don't you think something like those also make you feel good?
Absolutely.
And I think the other thing is it gives people a little bit more control over like this crazy age we're at where we feel like our bodies are doing things that we've never had them do before.
And I think that happens in your 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s. Like it happens in literally every decade.
Absolutely.
Where people come in and they're like, I don't know what's happened to me. Things are just changing. I don't feel the same anymore. And so we're just trying to help you. You can't go back to 20. I'm never going to feel that. And quite honestly, I don't want to be her anymore
No.
anyways. But we can help you feel good at whatever age you're at and stage or place in your life. And I truly think that when I started feeling more confident that I could leave the house and not have people see my sad,
Mhm.
I could do better for them.
That's 100% true.
You know, like I can help someone else who's feeling really, really low know that they won't be there forever.
Yeah.
Because I wasn't there forever. So it's sort of like a pay it forward.
Yeah.
Almost.
So when you opened the Fitchburg location, your first Fitchburg
We were
location,
in
Mineral
on the west
Point.
side of
Yeah.
Madison for about a year and a half
All
in
right.
a salon suite. I ended up with 2 rooms because we got quite busy. My partner, Nikki, and I met about 6 months in, which is another funny story because people assume we've been friends forever.
Yeah.
We actually met on Facebook.
Shut up. Really?
She brought her husband to the interview.
Why? To make sure
Probably to make sure that I wasn't crazy. And we laugh about that all the time. That she reached out and sent me a message, and in my bluntness, which I am often just very blunt because who has time to like beat around the bush? I just say what I think a lot.
Yeah.
And I was like, "Are you asking for a job? Like, what do you want?
What are we doing here?
What are we doing here?" And at the time, she remembers that I had 75 patients on like my list.
Okay.
And I hired her. I had no money to pay her. I definitely didn't have the patience to support 2 people, but we hustled and we hit the ground and we just ran together. And she's just been by my side this entire time as like my work wife, my long lost sister, like the greatest thing that's ever happened to me all in one.
That is unbelievable.
So I hired her and we were colleagues and then we just became friends.
Yeah.
And now we're married for life, you know.
Absolutely.
And we just built this incredible business together. Her family practice background was such a great compliment.
Yeah.
So she says she's like a jack of all trades, master of none sort of thing in family medicine. And in anesthesia, it's very similar. Like I have to know a little bit about everything,
of course,
in order to take care of somebody. I have to know enough about every drug they're on, every disease they have, every surgery they've had, and every surgery that the surgeon could possibly do so that I know how to keep them alive.
Of course.
So I think the pair was really great. There's a lot of overlap, but she's taught me so much and I've taught her so much.
So how did you, like, when you say you hit the ground running, like, how did you really start to build? Were you doing community events?
Yeah,
were you like doing advertising? Like what?
There was a time when we would do 2 parties on Saturday, 2 parties on Sunday. And then it wasn't so much when I was available. It was when the patient was available. It would just be like, what time can you come in? I'll be here. 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock at night, I'll be here. You know, I mean, I didn't have the luxury to say no, right? There's no boundaries.
When you're building. I was just going to say, when you're building it, you can't.
It was hard. It was hard on my family. It was hard on her family. But we grew very quickly because I think we offered something different. We offered advanced practice medicine because we can both prescribe and diagnose, which is different than what a nurse can do, all in one.
Right.
So if someone comes in with acne, I can prescribe a medication, but I can also do a treatment. And that was a bit different than what was available on other corners.
Yes,
you know,
of course.
And so I think that was part of why we grew so quickly. We're both very highly educated and highly medical, scientific. Like we look at the clinical studies before we bring anything on. And that's always been very important to us. I try everything on myself before we bring it on.
Right.
I think I have to know what it feels like in order to tell you what to expect.
Right.
And to trust the outcome too.
Right.
I've never taken on anything that I haven't actually seen results with.
That's amazing.
And then, so we just, gosh, I don't know. How did we do it? We just worked hard.
Does she have kids?
She has 2 kids.
Okay.
Her second is 5 now. And so she was quite young. She was very fresh when she joined me.
She's kind of like an infant.
Yeah. And she was working full time. And then my husband one day said, well, why don't you just quit? Like, there's only one way to build a business, and that's to do it full time. Like, you can't truly build a business in your part-time hours.
Yeah.
Can't build a full-time business in part-time.
Yes, correct.
And so I just sort of took the leap and I left full-time and did sort of like PRN, which is like as needed.
Okay.
And I was like, okay, I'll work 4 days in the OR, 1 in my office. And then that quickly went to 3 and 2 and 2 and 3. And then it went to like just a couple times a month because we grew very quickly. I think COVID's such a fascinating time, and there's going to be so much like research that comes out in 5, 10 more years about what happened to us during COVID, the mentality, the physical things that happened, the financial, emotional, all these things. And I think the best thing that came out of COVID, obviously, was that we found a way to have jobs from home.
Yes.
And we found a way to communicate with each other from home.
Yes.
But it also boomed in industry.
I was just going to say,
because we look at ourselves all day, right? And we saw nothing but like the eyes for a year, right?
At least,
something like
at
that.
least.
So eyes became everything to everyone, like the forehead and eyes. So we treated heavily, Botox between the brows and the forehead because people were seeing themselves on camera all day long for the first time in their lives.
So you must see these trends, like
I've seen a lot of trends
especially since you said you're like really into observing.
It's fascinating.
So it's got to be nuts to see like, okay, so what just like what's the trend right now? Like what are we doing right now?
We're all upper face
Yes.
for like for maybe 20 to 22-ish, right? Then masks came off and everyone was staring at their mouths. Because now all of a sudden it's like, oh my God, my lips look old and shriveled. And so if you think about it, like the eyes and the mouth move constantly. You blink like 90,000 times a day or something crazy. And I don't know about your mouth, but mine moves all day.
Absolutely.
And so they age very quickly. And so then it became all about the lips.
All right.
And then I think we shifted. Now we're a little more into like normal life. We started overfilling faces for a little bit there. We were trying to get facelifts with filler, which is not possible. You'll never catch me saying that I can lift a face with filler. It's not possible.
What do you do when someone comes in and they like want something done that you don't really think is a good idea?
Yeah.
Because that's got to happen.
It happens all the time. It's hard. I'm not going to lie to you. It's very hard to tell a woman that she's got too much filler, like her lips are migrated.
Or a man for that man. Like it would be hard to tell anybody, hey, what you're doing isn't the right thing,
I would say like whatever decision you made years ago to get that filler is not it's like don't hold it against yourself. You didn't make a mistake because it was the right thing at that time. You needed something to feel good and you did it.
Yeah.
Like, I remember cutting my hair really short whenever I was stressed, because you just needed
or bangs, like just making like terrible decisions. Yeah.
Why do women do that? So yeah, I mean, I just sort of gently try to explain the anatomy and show it. We take a lot of pictures.
That's where it's huge that you're scientific, though. So you can explain more than just like, hey, this doesn't look.
Aging.
Yes.
Aging changes your filler over time. Filler doesn't stay in this. I mean, it stays there, but your face is moving, right? Like our faces are descending and they're shrinking and things are fat loss, bone loss. You're just losing all that elasticity. So things just change over time.
Yeah.
You can't fill a face the same in the 60s as you can in 20s. It's just not the same. And so I try to explain the anatomy and sort of gently say, this is what I would recommend in terms of facial balancing to have everything look aesthetically pleasing like you want it to. There's been studies on what is beauty.
Yeah.
Fascinating.
Right.
Like those are really interesting studies to me to look at a lineup of pictures where they'll change like the length and projection of the chin. And you look at these 5-6 pictures and you say which one you think is the most beautiful. And it's the one that is in the most proportion.
Yes.
I don't know if it's like a Da Vinci thing. I can't remember exactly, but there's true proportions and measurements to beauty in the world, even in roses,
in
like
art,
in art, in decor.
I was just going to say in interior design.
It's all about proportions. And so the same thing is true in aesthetics. When I look at someone's face, I'm really looking at, are they in proportion?
I'm like, what are you possibly looking at on this mess right here? What she's like, what the fuck, Hannah? Oh my God.
So like that's really something that Nikki and I have worked very heavily on is learning anatomy. So like in anesthesia school, we learn the anatomy of the whole body.
Right.
But I never learned. You can't possibly, and definitely not in nursing school. You don't know anything about skin. They don't teach you anything. You learn enough about skin to get into the skin, fat or muscle to give a shot. Like that's it. Or put an IV in. So we do a cadaver training lab at least once a year. So I've done at least 6 now, because you get in there and you learn from these incredible anatomists and plastic surgeons in our industry who are just geniuses in it. And they've published papers showing the differences in anatomy. So when I look at someone's face, I'm kind of looking at like the assumed anatomy based on all the cadavers that have ever been done and studied and documented.
Right.
And I assume what's in different compartments. And so Nikki and I work very heavily on that, and we lean on that a lot. So if someone says, I want filler here, I say, you don't need it there, or that's unsafe, or whatever the case may be. But anyways, to get back to your question, I have turned people down. Part of it is like, I want to ethically do the right thing, right?
Of
Like
course.
that's the basis of medicine and healthcare and nursing, is to do no harm. And so I think by putting more and more filler in someone just because they ask for it is doing harm to them.
Of course.
In the long run. It's changing their anatomy forever in some ways. And so it's a hard conversation. I say, I'm sorry. I know you came here for filler today. I know you're emotionally prepared for that, but I think I'd be doing you wrong. And you can go see someone else if you want someone else to go ahead and give you the filler. But this is what I think is the right thing to do.
But Ericka, that's probably why you guys have grown and you've been doing such a big business. Is because if I went in wanting something and you wouldn't sell that or let me give you money for that, I would have more respect for you than if you just did what I said. You know what I mean?
It's my name on your face also.
Exactly.
Part of it. It's like Nurture Her is on everybody's face that has come to see us. And so I want a reputation for making people, women, men look natural. I want you to feel good at whatever age you're at.
Yeah.
But I can't make someone 50 look 20.
Of course not.
And you shouldn't want to.
Right.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Right.
And it's never going to work.
It's not going to work. More importantly, it's never going to work. I think we've seen from celebrities who have had very full, overfilled faces and then dissolved what happens when we continue to just give filler.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that must have been so interesting to learn about, so you're a nurse anesthetist. So you're literally helping put people under for surgeries. And then you're like, you know what? I'm going to learn about these other things that we could that must have been a bit of a shift.
Yeah. I mean, again, I'm just like a curious person. I'm interested in everything.
Yeah.
And so I think when I think about what are the services we've taken on and added to our menu, we have a huge menu that I'm really proud of, but I'm also proud of how we got there. I started out offering Botox because it's the gateway.
Okay.
Everyone, we've studied our patients over the 6 years, and almost the majority is always that they come in for Botox, and they end up doing other things. It's the gateway. That's it, right? A hydrofacial is also kind of the gateway into facial services.
I had a hydrofacial
a
couple weeks ago,
and so
because I get facials
from the business end, I have to offer Botox. I'll be honest, it's not my favorite thing to do. It doesn't get me excited. I don't get out of bed thinking, yes, Botox today.
Okay.
It's just that I have to offer it.
Yeah.
I think I don't love it because I can't see it right away. It takes 2 weeks to set in. It's boring to me, but I have to do it because everyone needs it and wants it.
Okay.
But then my biggest issue, I guess I'll call it, when I looked in the mirror, is that I saw how sad my eyes were.
Okay.
Again, back to we wore masks and all we saw was sad, sad, sad. And so my under eyes were,
and you had a lot going on in your life.
Yes. And I just saw the loss of my son. He passed away in 2014 at 9 months old. And so again, another huge shift in my life from going from being a mom to not being a mom. And then I was a mom again when my daughter came. And so many things went into my decision, is that I was watching my daughter grow up and I wasn't there. Right?
You had so much pain.
She was with her nanny and I was at work, or I would come home from work and be in so much physical pain. I have very severe degenerative arthritis. So I've had knee pain since I was in middle school, and then I was injured as a nurse in the ICU, and I've had since then 3 back surgeries. And as a 3-4-year-old, she would say to me, Mama, does your head hurt? Does your knee hurt? Does your back hurt? Because I was at work all day and I would come home and just collapse on the couch. And that was not the kind of mom that I set out to be.
Yeah.
I also felt I didn't think I would ever be that woman who looked in the mirror and just saw tired, sad, just unhappy. Right?
Poor thing.
I love
I'm
anesthesia.
so sorry.
I loved my work, but I think the job just wasn't what I thought it was going to. It didn't give me the life that I thought it was going to give, right? I thought I was going to have all this time, and I didn't. And so now, to be clear, opening a business is a 24.
I was just going to say, so you decided to open up your own business instead.
To have less time is essentially what happened. So I hear myself, but now I'm in total control of my life. Right. So I can block my schedule and see my daughter's midday concert at school, which I would never have seen.
Of course.
Right. And so I have control over a lot of that. now, which makes me even more confident and feel so much better about the mother that I am and what I'm showing her that a woman can be.
And the inside, right?
Yeah.
Like like you said, you had pain in your eyes. She knew you were in pain. She
I'm,
knew you weren't in
I
in
mean,
a good place,
and
it
that's
sounds
not how
like.
you want your kids to see you, is like testing the waters of, can my mom play with me today? So I think another reason why I knew I had to leave the OR was the physical part. It was very physically demanding. And now I sit whenever I can. My back still hurts, my knee still hurts, like all the things are still there.
Mhm.
But because I'm in control, the pain is not my whole life anymore. Like I'm not
Right.
identified by the loss of my son and the pain in my body.
And it sounds like you
Yeah.
healed a lot of it, which is amazing.
Did. I mean, you never really get over that. I still feel like, I mean, it's very
And I'm
much on
so
the inside of
sorry.
my
I'm
soul,
so,
but I
so
don't
sorry.
see it on the outside anymore, which then makes me feel like, what's that word for like dopamine dressing? Isn't
Okay.
that what it's called?
That's, yeah.
Where you like put on a sparkly dress on your worst day of your
Yes.
life because it makes you feel good.
Yeah.
And I think that's a lot of what I'm doing in aesthetics is I'm helping the dopamine part of
Yeah.
everyone so that you can feel good and literally survive your life.
That's like incredible. I mean, you are in a position where you're able to help change not just someone's day, but potentially their outlook on whatever they're
Yeah.
dealing with or whatever's going on.
I think women find us for all these reasons. I meet so many women who have also lost children, who have gone through divorces, and like those are my favorite patients, truly, because we need the most help to survive and get out of bed and feel like you can make it happen. So I
Yeah.
love connecting with these women on a deeper level. Our appointments are long. I probably could see more patients in a day if they were shorter, but we made a very conscious decision to make them as long as possible so that we could get to know people.
Yeah.
In fact, some of my patients, I give them even longer because I want to know what they've been up to the last 3 months since I've seen them last.
Yeah.
We cry together, we laugh,
I know
you
two of
know.
your patients very well,
Yeah.
and they have nothing but just the best things to say about the entire experience of, so they go to the Sun Prairie location.
Mhm.
I'm not saying names, so I'm like, why am I telling? But no, they just have nothing but the best things to say about everything you're doing for them on a very, on a whole, like, not just looks wise,
Yeah.
but truly what you're doing for them. And
Yeah.
that's incredible, because I do think that, especially someone who prides themselves on being pretty low maintenance, like, for someone to say this is so much more than Botox, this is so much more than filler, or I don't even know what all the terms are for the
Yeah.
lips and the eyes and the different things. They're like, no, but this is so much more than that.
Yeah.
And now that some of the hormone replacement stuff or
It's really
hormone,
been a full circle.
yeah. So talk to me about that, because everybody wants to talk about this right now.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean,
when did that shift? Well, okay, first of all, when did you open Sun Prairie?
we opened Sun Prairie, I think maybe around 22. We were going and doing like pop-up events around town, and we were going to Sun Prairie and doing like an 8-hour pop-up where we would fill the day. And so we just were like, gosh, if we fill the day, why don't we just stay here?
Yeah.
So we've been there since then. We're not there every day like we are in Fitchburg, but we're there. Our nurse Allison is there on Mondays and Thursdays, and she offers injectables and facials. And so yeah, it's really exciting to be able to offer something to Sun Prairie also, because there was a gap there too. There was a corner available.
There 100%. I think the whole Sun Prairie, Wanakee, DeForest area is like about to. I think that location is going to continue to get busier and busier.
Yeah, it's grown in a different way than Fitchburg, which is really interesting. Again, like, why is Fitchburg or the West Side grew very organically? I mean, we didn't do any paid marketing dollars for like almost 2 years. I did a little in the beginning. I remember my very first Facebook ad. I think I paid $100 for it. I did not have $100.
Right.
Because like one income, I opened a business. I literally maxed out my personal credit cards to open the doors. Right. Like, but I had to do it. Like, it was what I had to do, because it's not like you don't just open a credit card and they don't give you all the money.
Right.
You have to build that. So now obviously that's changed.
But in hindsight, wasn't that like so stressful?
Yeah. I mean, I didn't pay myself for about a year, other than here and there. I would just do, owner withdrawals, and my accountant finally was like, you have to put yourself on payroll. Like, you have to actually pay yourself. But I was paying Nikki before I could pay myself. I'd be like, cash that check on Friday.
Yeah. Can you wait? Like, just wait.
She's like, not today.
Oh my God.
And now we have over 5,000 patients on our list. And so it just is amazing. And I'm still sort of like, wow, that is crazy. We started with 75 when like Nikki joined me. And now look where we are now. And I'm very humble about it, I think, because when people are like, oh, I've heard of you, I'm like, really? That's so weird.
That's awesome is what it is.
Yeah. I mean, I really always felt like even from the beginning, I wanted to have something a little different. I wanted to offer a little bit more than just injectables. I want to be a little more full service. So, right. So hormones now have come around because, well, hi, my name is Ericka. I'm in perimenopause.
Right.
It's a wild ride.
Same.
It's trippy.
Yes.
It's weird. And it's hard to find care. Quite honestly, like
it's insanely hard.
My story is that I couldn't find someone to do that for me. I had a patient come in one day and was like, well, I started doing it online. And I was like, what? Tell me everything. And online isn't my favorite because there's no personal touch. So I don't love the algorithm prescribing. I mean, there's safety to it because it's an algorithm. If you click the wrong box, they're not going to prescribe it.
That's
so it's not necessarily unsafe, but it's not personalized. There's no, literally you put in your information and it sends your prescription within minutes. And I was like, oh, I expected a delay in that.
Exactly. Right.
I thought someone was going to review that. That's weird. So Nikki and I feel very strongly like we don't offer a lot of virtual appointments because I need to see your skin in person. If you're losing weight, I need to see that your skin is healthy to know you're nourished. I need to see that your hair is not falling out to know that you're eating enough. I need to see your body.
Yeah.
And so anyways, then hormones came because of my own journey. I was a hot mess. I would be talking to a patient and just stop talking like I was having a stroke.
Really?
And it was embarrassing because in perimenopause, your body is your brain is starving for estrogen. To get a little scientific, because I love stuff like this.
Yes, I'm sure everybody wants to hear
this. There are
this.
receptors in your body that things have to connect to in order to make something happen, right? Every drug you take has a receptor and it has to bind to it. So estrogen receptors are very fascinating because usually when there's a lack of something, the receptors start to downregulate. They start to disappear so that your body still feels full, right? It's like having a big gas tank to a small gas tank.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yes.
Does that sort of make sense? So estrogen receptors are fascinating because in the brain, they upregulate. It's like the only receptor that does this. So your brain is more and more starving every day for the lack of estrogen. And your body is making less and less. And so it pops up more receptors trying to find any lingering estrogen, but there's none there. Right. So you just continue, your brain is starving for it. And so that's where the dementia,
I was going to say that's
the memory fog. So like I had crippling brain fog. I would just word finding. I would just like suddenly not know what I was talking about 30 seconds ago. It was almost scary.
That's weird, right?
It was weird because I would be having a very, intelligent conversation and just stop talking. And it was embarrassing. And I was like, I don't understand what's happening to me. Am I just tired? I don't sleep great because of all my pain. But then I started sleeping even less. I started having palpitations.
Yes.
And I just couldn't find anyone who would prescribe, quote, HRT, which in truth is no different than the birth control that we prescribe, like Skittles. Everyone's put on birth control
everyone's on birth
without even really considering any ramification of it. And yet hormone replacement therapy is withheld from us, and there's a gap in care.
Is that because like back in the day, there's a lot of scares with the breast cancer rate.
HRT. We put women on. Yes, correct. That's exactly what happened. So there's this whole generation of medical providers who were not trained by their mentors. So everyone now, their mentors were in the early 2000s, but they didn't do it because of this WHI study that said we were all going to get blood clots and breast cancer.
That's what it was, yeah.
Debunked many decades ago. It's just that the FDA black box warning was literally just removed, I don't know, 9 months ago.
Yes, very recently.
Very recently. And so now everybody's like, oh my God, I need estrogen. Duh.
Yes.
So I found I had a gap in my own personal care.
Okay.
And so I was like, well, I guess I'll just learn it.
Yes. How awesome is that, though, that you were able to do that?
I have found some wonderful mentors. I have a very good friend and mentor who has been there with me for the many, many years. She's also an entrepreneur herself, and she's just incredible and has been like my rock. So when days are hard as a business owner, I call her crying and she puts me back together. And I wouldn't be here without her either. But she's been a wonderful mentor in terms of helping me understand hormones and like being there if I have questions. But it's been a really interesting ride to to prescribe it and help women in the same stage of life as I am. Because I'm very open about my experience. So I can say, look, I was there.
Which I
You
appreciate so
know,
much.
I share that I'm on estrogen, progesterone, testosterone, and those things have changed my life.
You
If you're
take the
on
progesterone at night?
always,
Okay.
it helps you sleep.
Yep.
Yeah. It helps the mood too. So sort of
I
like
was,
shift label. Sometimes I put people on progesterone just for mood and sleep, and
yeah.
they do so much better. Yeah, I mean, when you get your life back in your 40s, like I'm at the peak of my career. I'm happier than I've ever been in my whole life. But then at the same time, like my brain was like falling apart.
Right? Like,
Right. So, I mean, it's just a crazy time of what happens to your body. I think I didn't notice that at 40 because it was 2020. I was opening a business. Like my daughter was 5. I couldn't pay attention to anything but that. But by 42, I sort of looked down and was like, what is happening?
Did
So,
you
yeah.
ever go to like a so through my divorce, I just was like, I gotta wait for my whole body to like regulate after this thing because I was so stressed out,
Yeah.
not sleeping at all and whatever. So then I finally went to like just a general appointment or
Yeah.
whatever, and they were like, I'm saying, hey, I feel like shit
Yeah.
all the time.
All the time.
And she was like, I wish all my patients were as healthy as you. Cause like, you know, I'm a spin instructor. Like I work out, I do all this
Your
stuff.
labs
Like,
probably look perfect.
ish,
Okay.
but not like really,
Yeah.
looking at him. It's like, no, my thyroid's in the tank. Like something's wrong here. But that's kind of when I started really being more fascinated by it because I'm like, well, no, like I don't feel good. And I'm grateful that I don't have like something really messed up where the labs are so
Exactly.
messed up.
Yeah.
However, I'm telling you, I'm sleeping 4 hours a night
Yeah.
and I can't
The
think
symptoms are
straight.
very
And
like nondescript, right?
all I
They're
want to do
very
it too is take a nap. And I
Yeah.
was never like that in my entire life.
Yeah.
And like after I eat, I don't feel full. I feel like shit. Like that's like
Yeah.
insulin resistance. Like that's a thing. Like
It's a
you
thing.
know,
Perimenopause is just the wildest. If you look at the list of possible symptoms, they're crazy. It's like itchy tongue, roof of your mouth, ringing in your ears, palpitations. Like we all know about night sweats, hot
yeah.
flashes, but it's all
But
the
that sucks
other
too, especially if you're
things.
like dating again for the first time after being divorced and you're like
Yeah.
in a puddle of sweat. Like
Yeah,
what
that's not sexy.
it certainly doesn't make you feel good. Like what is happening?
Yeah.
Hair growing out of everywhere. It's
Hair,
like what
right?
is
And falling out all at the same time. Yeah,
exactly.
it's weird. I know. Some of like my feet are really cold. Like
Oh.
so cold that I can't sleep.
Yeah.
So I started sleeping in socks.
Yeah.
For the first time ever, which is also like super unsexy in my
Also
opinion.
like try dating doing
Try
that.
dating
Like
with socks
try
on.
dating like when you
Yeah.
want to murder someone for 1
Yeah,
week out of the
I
month.
know, I
Like
know.
it's just I don't know. It's I'm very grateful that all of this that there's so much more research and so much
And we're
more
talking about it again, right? Like we can talk about libido and sex drive in a very open way that wasn't happening for many years. Like if you ask your mom, anyone in their 40s, you ask your parents, your moms, your grandma, what was your 40s like? They don't know. They say,
No.
oh no, I was way older when I went through menopause.
Right.
And I'm thinking, no, you weren't. We just didn't talk about sex. We didn't
Exactly.
talk about what it was like to be a woman in your 40s, having a career and families or divorce and stress. They didn't talk about it. We didn't have outlets. So
No.
I like talking about it. I like talking about libido in your 40s. It's weird.
That
Would I rather do a spreadsheet? Sometimes.
and I'm the complete and I'm the complete opposite. Where like it's just but everybody from what I've like talked to my friend, like everybody's across the board.
Yeah.
Which is
We're all
also
going through it together.
which is also so interesting. And then
Yeah.
people having children later and people not having children.
Yeah,
Like
that's
me,
another wild
like
thing.
like there's not a whole lot of research on women that have not had children.
Correct.
Because so
Most
many
of our
people have
research is on what happens with the hormones during childbirth and afterwards. Yeah.
and like I've never
Yeah.
had kids. I'm never
But
going to have
isn't it also wild that like we focus so much on those fertility years as like, "Ah, these are the most important years of your life. You have to save your fertility. And then what? And then we just don't care about us after fertility. We're just on a boat out nowhere.
Yep.
I don't know.
You're put to
Good luck.
Good
luck.
Good luck.
Good luck.
Have fun. Oh,
Have fun.
there's not a whole lot of research. Right.
There is. We know that you are more likely to die as a woman of heart disease because that's the biggest killer of women is heart disease and or I argue UTI sepsis.
Okay.
Without estrogen and osteoporosis, right? Things like this are all going to happen without estrogen than you are to die of breast cancer or blood clot on estrogen.
Right.
We know this. We have decades of data to support the use of estrogen very early. Like if someone's approaching 40 in my office, I cannot treat your skin and make you look young
if you're
we are not
treating
talking
it from
about
the
hormones.
inside out, right?
Right. Like you don't put a patch on and it doesn't make take away your wrinkles. That's not how that works. However, I can't help you look young on the outside if we're not addressing the inside. I just can't. It's come full circle for me.
But that's impressive. And that's like that. I mean, that's a huge thing that sets your business apart, Ericka, and what you're able to do for women to make them feel better and make them like you said, from the inside out.
Yeah. I feel like we tell women like, oh, don't wait to have babies when you're 35. Like, are you considering freezing your eggs and having babies? I'm sure things like this were said to you, but no one at 38 said, hey, you're about to enter the weirdest phase of your life.
Absolutely not. And like, and some like pretty big years of your life. Like,
I just go on for 10 years. So like this period, and I am my most average patient. I am. I have acne. I'm perimenopausal, right? Like I am I lost weight on a GLP. Like I am my most average patient.
That's so incredible that you are willing to like share it and talk about it.
Yeah.
Too. Yeah. And why shouldn't we? But like, you know, there still is a little bit of
you feel like you can't tell your own story, but my own story is how I tell my patients what I believe is right for them. When they say, well, you haven't had any filler, right? I'm like, girl, I have had dozens.
And where are we putting it? Because you're so beautiful. Like for people that aren't looking at the
neck, everywhere, because the aging is everywhere.
Yeah.
And so I'm very proud of like my team. We don't go overboard. Actually, I've given Nikki full control over my face now because I feel as though there's this perception drift as a provider, 100% in aesthetics, that you start to drift way too far off that beauty baseline and you think you need more because I've decided I can't judge myself anymore. So I always ask Nikki, do I need it? Or Allison, like you tell me what I need. I'm not allowed to choose anymore. Because I don't want to drift too far.
Overdo it. No, and you're not. You look you're just so beautiful.
Well, thank you.
I mean, I didn't know what you looked like before, but I think
I was like, I'm in a yellow dress today.
Absolutely fabulous. I'm here for the yellow dress. Do you like your coffee?
I do.
Normally we do cocktails. So like this is a big
next time cocktails.
Well, cheers. We always have to find something to toast you. So be thinking about that for when we close out. But
I probably already talked too much.
Absolutely not. No, this is so wonderful. And I just appreciate your authenticity and your honesty. I have to ask you this, and I'm not trying to start my own business. I'm very grateful. Got to give Brava Persona magazine here in Madison a shout out. Very grateful for my, not even 9 to 5, because I was at a show at the Overture till 10:30 last night. But I'm so grateful for the magazine. I think it's doing wonderful things. We're going to feature you in the September, October issue
of women. Like those are my favorite issues because I want to see what other women are doing. Before we hit record, I was like, I don't know, aesthetics. Like it could have been anything. I could have opened a business in anything,
right?
And probably ended up with the same theme, overall philosophy and theme
of what do you think that theme is like just feel your look your best, feel your best, and kick some ass,
confidence. And like life is very serious. I just don't think we have to be that serious in my day-to-day, right? Like my life took a serious turn right when my son died, and then all my physical struggles.
What happened to your son?
He had meningitis. Of all the things, it's like the shit that I can swear, right?
Oh god, yeah,
the shit that I read in textbooks happened to me. And like, those are just things that you just don't expect. And they seem unlikely. I don't know. It's hard to explain.
Ericka, like, how did you?
I've always just felt, again, I said this before, like it's harder to be sad than it is to be happy. Being happy is very easy, but it's a choice. And so when Kellen died, I knew I had to get out of bed for my husband.
Okay.
And I think he probably feels the same. Like we had to do it for each other. And instead of breaking us apart, it did bring us closer at that time. And
a lot of couples, it doesn't.
I know I watched a lot of marriages crumble, but I chose to be happy. I chose to at that time, I chose to get on my bike, and I rode my bike for 20 miles a day because that was where I felt strong again and like I could handle life. And so I think there's things that you do to just do what it takes to feel strong again.
Yeah.
So I chose to be happy. I chose this life.
That's incredible.
I could be sad all the time.
Well, I feel like I'm sad right now, just like
I know I can
thinking
really
about
bring the
you.
room down.
No, thinking about you as a 30-year-old, 30, you what,
I was
33,
34.
34. I just,
Yeah.
I mean, but like what an incredible, I
No.
think that's
My
just,
mom used to say she was really proud of me. And like in the early days after he died, I would get so angry when she would say that. I hated it. It just made me so upset because I was like, this is not a proud moment. Like I don't know. I didn't feel proud.
yeah,
But then yeah, it's become my greatest strength, I guess.
you're
Just to share the
incredible.
story that you can overcome. There will be light again in your life because there is in mine. I'm very happy.
You have a baby
I have a
girl,
beautiful baby. Well, she's 11 now. She's not a
11.
baby anymore,
Well,
but
they're
I
still
just feel
babies.
like I said to Ryan, or he said, I don't remember. It was like we have to show her the world. I have to show her that she can do anything. Girls can do anything. And I also do that for my staff too. I think it's like that's why I built a business to offer a place for women like me who needed somewhere to go.
Yeah. And like
You
and now you're allowing them to create their
know?
own,
Yeah.
like being able to give them a 401k, being able to like
I
let
know. I
them,
think one of the most proud things I have is that we offer health insurance, and I'm super proud of that.
you should be
Yeah.
proud of it. Health insurance is a huge pain in the
Yeah.
ass.
It
Like,
really is.
and it's crazy expensive. And it's like
Yeah.
the fact that
I'm
you're
very
able to
proud of
give,
that I can support. It's not small. Like supporting 12 people's livelihood is not small, but it's incredible.
it is
Yeah.
incredible. And you have
Yeah.
2 locations. You
Yeah.
are helping thousands of women,
Yeah.
probably men too, or no,
Yes,
just
we
women.
do have quite a
Okay.
bit of male population growing,
Yeah.
as they find us.
Well, that's where like it was so exciting for me to get to reach out to you for specifically. So you guys, I'm talking about the women in business issues about to come out in
Yeah, I'm sorry.
September.
I forgot the question. You didn't get your question.
No. I was just saying it's been really exciting for me to be able to meet women and men for that matter around the greater Madison area. I'm not getting on planes every other week and traveling to sell certain types of software.
Mhm.
I'm in the thick of like the community here in Madison, and it's like it's so inspiring to meet people that aren't just doing it for themselves, but you're able to fulfill other people's bank accounts as well as their
Mhm.
like what they're able to do
Yeah.
every day and create an incredible environment for people to come to work and to do something that you love, that they love, and help other people with their lives. Like this isn't small stuff. Like this
No,
is
it's
really big
becoming
stuff.
bigger than it's always been bigger than wrinkles. But
Right.
when I think about it, it's not just for me. It wasn't just for the patients. It's for my staff too and the community. And we like to get involved in community events. My
Yes.
favorite event that we attend is the Tellurian Benefit.
Yeah.
I just really love being a
Yes.
part of that. I've lost a friend and to addiction. And so like
Yeah.
everyone's lost someone to something,
Yeah.
you know?
Unfortunately, but
Yeah.
yeah. So I go to that
Anyways,
benefit too.
yeah.
I ran into Maddie there.
Yeah.
When I was gonna come over to your table, but it's always kind of
All
a
good.
but yeah, no, I'm a big supporter of that. I was gonna mention too that the women the heart disease thing, because I was a woman of impact this year for the
Mhm.
American Heart Association, where they nominate people
Yeah.
to raise as much money
Yeah.
as possible and spread the word. And I didn't realize my mom has a pacemaker and an ICD
Oh.
implanted in her,
Yeah.
and she's like a crazy healthy, biking 20 miles a day as a 70-year-old woman. But like it can happen to anybody, and some of the perimenopause side effects or
Mhm.
symptoms are very similar to those of heart disease and
Yeah.
like AFib and all these different problems or challenges that people have with their hearts. So if you ever want to get more involved with the American Heart Association, because there's a huge amount of really cool benefits and
I love that. I mean,
things
the
in
more and
Madison.
more I learn about what the power of hormones, it's just it's shocking. It affects everything. I had no idea, right?
I-
Like I went down a hole one day when I found out how many estrogen receptors there were just in the skin, and it was like everything makes sense.
It's crazy.
Everything makes sense.
It's crazy.
Yeah. No, we would love to be involved in
Yeah.
something like that.
I'll give you
Yeah.
a couple of my gals' information,
Yeah.
especially because it's so female focused as
Yeah.
well.
Yeah.
Because it is the number one killer.
Yeah.
Like all the other ones combined, I can't give the exact statistics. I should know it, but it's the number one killer 100% of women.
100%.
And
So we need everybody
one's
to put a
talking
patch
about
on.
it.
No
No.
one's talking about it. That patch on, just slap it on.
I think,
twice a week.
or like make sure you're talking to the right people about like,
Yeah.
where should I be? What
Yeah.
looks healthy and what shouldn't look,
Right.
I think that that's super important. I don't have you for very much longer. So I have to ask,
Okay.
there's so many things that we've talked about that are worth toasting to, that are worth, I mean, I'm still thinking about the gal that you said is one of your mentors.
Mhm.
It sounds like she changed your life. It sounds like Kellen changed your life in the
Mhm.
short 9 months that he was here. And again, I'm so sorry that you had to go through that. And like,
Thank you.
what
It's
an,
just
I
part
mean,
of my story.
it
You
is,
know.
but you were able to take the pain and turn that into something that allowed you to continue to be a better mom, to be a better wife, to be a better, but yet I hope you can still feel take the time to grieve and heal from all of the incredible pain that must have caused. So I'm so sorry for that. But is there something that you would like to toast, even though we don't have cocktails on this episode, but on the next one we will?
Gosh, I think it was like I toast myself to the balls it took to just do it. Right? Like
Yes.
it was unexpected to quit my job. Right. I think that was one of the most shocking things to many people from the outside is why would she have left such a great paying, well respected job to like go do Botox?
Yeah.
And so, but from my angle, it again was never about that. It was about changing my life. And then it turned into changing my daughter's life and my husband's life and the trajectory of our family. And so, right, I had the balls to do it.
That's
Yeah.
cheers to that,
Cheers to that.
Ericka.
And not seeing myself fail. I never saw myself failing.
You wouldn't, I don't think, you don't strike me as someone that would take failure as an
I don't
option.
really take that as an option.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, no. Mm-mm.
Cheers to
I will
you.
spiral for a pretty good reason. You know, it doesn't take much for me to go down a hole. A
Well,
good spiral,
like
like spiral.
Yes,
and
speaking
like
of
research.
perimenopause, like spiraling isn't the worst thing, especially if it's for a good reason. However, spiraling on the flip side is
No,
is
yeah, no,
not
no,
what
spiral for a
anybody
good
needs.
reason. Yeah.
No, but that's Ericka, you're exceptional.
Thank
I'm
you.
so grateful to know you. You guys, it's Nurture Her. You can plug the business. I mean,
Oh, Nurture Her, which is funny because as a funny side note to end this, if you drop one R, it sounds like neuter her, which is very funny.
And that's what it auto corrects to sometimes in the phone on the
very funny. Anyways,
nobody's doing any neutering, you guys. It's all
that's my favorite part. But Nurture Her, we're in Fitchburg, we're in Sun Prairie. I have an incredible team. I'm very proud of them. And you can come in and put a pair of slippers on and just cry and laugh and feel better again for whatever you need.
feeling better.
We're
Yes.
having I don't know when this comes out. We're having a big event in August, but I'm not sure that this is out before.
It will be out before that.
Oh,
so
okay.
what's
So
the date?
August 12th is our biggest event. We put up a huge tent in the backyard of the building and we invite
In Fitchburg or somewhere?
in Fitchburg.
Okay.
On McKee by the Target on McKee. And we invite different local businesses, largely women run businesses to come and like have a booth and sell product and meet you. And it's just incredible. We'll have food and drink and it's going to be a fun night. It's called Glowchella.
Available.
Yeah.
Maybe
I know. Come on over.
Maybe I'll come.
Dress in theme and you'll get an extra ticket.
Because I'm one of the ones that's seen one of the online doctors. So like now I'm like, I gotta go in person.
Love in person.
And again, my girls that go to Joyride, I'm a spin instructor at Joyride on the east side. And two of my girls are like, you don't go to Nurture? And I'm like, well, I know who Ericka is. We're featuring her in September. They're like, you should go see her. She's absolutely fabulous. So
thank you.
That was the one other
That's
question
amazing.
before we do wrap up. Like, how do you decide how much you're going to work like in the business versus on the business? Like, that's got to be so difficult.
It's an interesting question. I mean, initially it was 40 hours a week in seeing patients.
Yes.
And I would do admin at night. Like I'd put my daughter to bed and then I would go do spreadsheets, literally. And so that was like destroying my life. But now I have the luxury. 6 years in, I have the luxury and I feel like I have earned the boundary of not seeing patients on Wednesday morning to do admin.
Okay.
But that was hard for me. The girls really had to talk me into it. They're like, it's time.
Right.
It's okay for you to not see patients for 4 hours and get your admin done. And then we also hired a practice manager about a year ago who took a lot. I don't know what we did without her. It took a lot off my and Nikki's plate that we could hand her things. Like we are literally scrubbing the toilets, screwing furniture together, taking the fire hydrant for its monthly check to the fire station. Like
the glamour of being a full-time business owner.
And so there's so many things that I was doing on top of it. So yeah, I just think I finally got to a place where I felt like I earned it from my patients and they're okay with it.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
You've earned so much, and you employ some incredible people. And we're just gonna keep on. I can't wait to see what's in store.
I know.
August 12th.
Oh,
We'll
it's
put it
gonna
in
be a
the
good
little
one.
show notes.
Yeah.
August 12th. There's
August
a
12th,
big party.
Coachella from 5 to 8. We'll have a food truck. We have a taco truck this year. It's gonna be amazing. Kendra Scott is joining us to plug them. They are donating. I can't remember if it's 10 or 20% of sales to a charity for the Venezuela earthquake.
Okay.
We have actually 2 employees whose families live in Venezuela, and so we are really excited to be able to donate.
Give back. You're going to give back. You're going to keep doing some great things for the whole community.
Yeah. So
I love it.
Come join us. It'll be good.
Ericka, thank you so much. It's Nurture Her in Fitchburg and Sun Prairie. Not new to her.
Not new to her.
I am Anna Hockett. This is the Anna Angle. Thank you for sharing your angle. Like hearing different perspectives is why I do this.
Yeah.
And I think that, I mean, if I met you at a bar and I had a conversation with you, I'd be like, I want everybody to hear your story. And that's why we're here. A huge shout out to Brava and Persona Magazine here in Madison. Thank you all, and we'll see you soon.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Oh.